Hey, Gucci Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of a video I did a week or so ago of Hall of Fame snubs. Before I get started, I want to make a correction. Some of y'all misunderstood what I was saying. I wasn't saying that Chipper Jones wasn't worthy of the Hall of Fame, because he's definitely worthy of the Hall of Fame. To me, these individuals should have gone in. Some of these individuals should have gone in before Chipper Jones. Now, I do believe Andrew Jones and Harold Baines did not earn enough, didn't do enough to get into the Hall of Fame. And I do, like I said, most of these guys, if not all of them, have a higher WAR than Harold Baines. Now, if you missed last week's video or the part 1 of this, I want to go over the teams I covered so you can go back and watch in case one of those teams are your favorite. And I'm doing these from the teams I dislike the most to the teams I like the most. And with my, in the first video I covered in order the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, Atlanta Braves, Los Angeles Dodgers, San Francisco Giants, Milwaukee Brewers, Oakland A's, Colorado Rockies, Seattle Mariners, and Detroit Tigers. Now, some of these people I picked for some of these teams, like one of them in today's video and a couple of them in next week's video, the only reason why they were not picked is probably because their political views, and that's why they were not picked for the Hall of Fame, but they should be. Again, like I said, these individuals that I picked either should have gone in before Chipper Jones, or they're more Hall of Fame worthy than Andrew Jones and Harold Baines. I'm going to start off today with the Baltimore Orioles, and that's Boog Powell. I do believe Boog Powell should have been in the Baseball Hall of Fame a long time ago. For the Miami Marlins, it was kind of hard for me because they are somewhat of a newer team, but I got Derek Lee. He is one of the top 5 players of the Marlins not in the Hall of Fame. Next, for the Tampa Bay Rays, is a guy I could have picked for Kansas City as well, Johnny Damon. Again, Tampa Bay Rays or Devil Rays or whatever you want to call them. They're somewhat of a new team. It's kind of hard for me to pick someone, but he was, again, one of the top 5 picks that were not in the Hall of Fame. For the Chicago White Sox, this should not be a surprise to any of y'all if you've watched my videos. He's one of 2 guys who were banned from baseball, just had the ineligible for the Hall of Fame removed off his name, and that's Shoeless Joe Jackson. I, for a long time, believed that Shoeless Joe Jackson was an innocent person and got banned for something that he did not do, and I still believe to this day that Shoeless Joe Jackson should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Next is the Toronto Blue Jays. For the Toronto Blue Jays, I got pitcher David Steeb. Again, he's one of those guys I believe should have been in the Hall of Fame. I'm surprised he's not. I thought he was. He's also showed up in the top 5 players not in the Hall of Fame. And most of these guys are in the top 5 of their teams of people not in the Hall of Fame. Next, the Cleveland Indians. This is no surprise. Most people will agree with me on this one. Kenny Lofton. Why is Kenny Lofton not in the Baseball Hall of Fame? He should be. Most definitely should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. For the Chicago Cubs, Mark Grace. I think Mark Grace should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago, but he is not. And he's one of those people I believe should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. And like I said, I had to pick somebody for each team, so that was my pick for the Chicago Cubs. For the Minnesota Twins, another pitcher, Frank Viola. I don't understand why Frank Viola is not in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Again, like most of these guys, he is in the top 10 of people not in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Why he's not, I don't know. And now for the Pittsburgh Pirates, yes, this individual was one of those that was caught doing cocaine in the 80s. But he was a tremendous player. He should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. And that's Dave Parker. Now, before I get to the last team on this list, something I left off at the beginning of this video, I made very clear in my last video, guys like Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Rafael Palmeiro, Sammy Sosa, those steroid guys are not going to be on my list. So before you ask why I didn't have any of them listed for any of the teams, that's why. Now, number 20, the St. Louis Cardinals. I got Kurt Floyd, who played a long time ago. He's also in the top 5 of people who are not in the Hall of Fame for the St. Louis Cardinals, but he should be. Now, my next video where I cover San Diego Padres, California Angels, Arizona Diamondbacks, the New York Mets, the Montreal Expos, New York Mets, Houston Astros, Phillies, Cincinnati Reds, Texas Rangers, and Kansas City Royals, which are my top 10 teams, the 10 teams I like the most. I will say the Diamondbacks player was listed for one of the other teams that I'd covered in the last video. His top 5 players not in the Hall of Fame, but he wasn't in the Diamondbacks top 5, not in the Hall of Fame, but I had to put him in here somewhere. And my picks for the San Diego Padres and Phillies, they're the 2 guys I believe were snubbed simply because of their politics. And when I do that part 3, I hope y'all watch it. Comment if you think I left somebody out of these in the last 2 videos. Last one, watch the last one if you hadn't yet. And in this one, comment if you think I left somebody out that should have been in the Hall of Fame for one of these teams that you think would have been a better pick than the people I have on here. I'm willing to listen to what other people have to say and their input. Also like, subscribe, share these videos. And until next time, as always, I am the man of the hour, the man of power, too sweet to be sour, every lady's pet, every man's regret, the sex appeal of Elvis, leadership qualities of Ronald Reagan, the Hall of Fame potential of George Brett, the styling, profiling of the nature boy. Woo! Ric Flair, the hardcore heart of Mick Foley, all raised right like Rush Limbaugh, and the toughness of Chuck Norris, all rolled into one. THEGOOCH, and see you next time.